with Riff Kitten called Played Out. Seen it on before, time and time again. They get the warring about the new trend. There's a hidden agenda when becoming their friend. Cause when you're useless to them, it'll come to an end. In off the deep end again with no direction. Living for the weekend, it becomes a soul digression. Into so many weeks spent with the same old expression. My hand I extend to you with no deception. To bring you along with a chosen future journey. Wash away the cobwebs, I know the hour's early. Dust yourself off and get ready to lodge you. You can blame it all on me, I got the power of attorney. Uncertainty will certainly feel out of place. That's why you're on this journey, to duck out of the hay. Together we combine, even when the barricades down. Forever we'll thrive and never be played out. Yeah.
I didn't even know what drum and bass was. I obviously knew who like Pendulum and Prodigy were, but like I didn't know anything about what the drum and bass culture was like, what the MC culture was like, nothing. And as a job on the side in the weekends, I used to drive for a crew called Ambush Family, which is like Carousel, K-Down, Texas. And they had gigs outside of Bristol. I used to be their driver. And I was always writing lyrics like on bits of paper and all this kind of stuff, just over hip hop stuff. And I was there, my mate Tansy came with me once. K-Dan was there and he was like, have you heard this guy do anything? Because I used to just be like 4 chords on a guitar, like the whitest man you know. and then yeah, I showed him a bar and he was like, come round to my house on Monday, and he just took me for writing lessons and he was showing me how to like structure a drum and bass verse and how it fits in, syllables, all this kind of stuff. And then I was living next door to a guy called Cantle, James Cantle, and he was a drum and bass head through and through. Like his whole room was just stacked with vinyls constantly. And I said to him, I was like, you ever had an MC? And I was 18, fresh faced. When I get home this Friday night, I won't be alone with the ride this vibe, cause Charlie's coming to round about night. Right place, right time, nice for my life. Open with excitement deep inside. Open with retirement tonight inclined. Not getting away with me having a good time. And he said to me, he was like, no, I never had an MC. I was like, can I come round? And that was it for about 6-8 months. Every like 4 or 5 times a week I just go round his after I come back from work and I just sit on the mic just doing the same lyric over and over again, be like, I've written a new one, and I do it 5-6 times in a night, just like until I just fell in love with being out. Like I found my people for the first time ever. Like I feel like everybody that's in the drum and bass scene, I turn around and say to them like, what your school report said shows loads of potential, gets distracted easily. And every single one of them goes,
Chatty,
did you know?
Naughty in class.
Yeah. Because they just didn't know how to put themselves somewhere, and then drum and bass just sort of brought all of these mad misfits together.
But if you continue to burn up the herbs, we gonna burn down the fields.
Something wrong with the culture.
And that was it then, and I started running my own night, and I started trying, because I was like, how do I get booked? I'm put my own event on. And I started putting myself on like the opening and the closing set, and then I linked up with a guy called Sammy P. He lives across the road now actually, and he ran a little crew. I say little, it was about 15 DJs and 4 MCs. A little crew of us called Liquefier, and that's where I met Octopi, Akov, Blue Jay, Ill Truth, Faction. They were all part of the same crew, like to start growing up. And that was it. From then, I just kind of just kept running at it. Like I was still dubstep DJing, but the MCing just took over, and like I still mix at home.
I didn't even know you DJed.
Oh, I love DJing.
Yeah, I didn't even know.
And I think that's also what's helped me become a good MC, is because I know what they're doing. Like I can't do it to the extent that they can.
Yeah.
I can blend a couple of tunes. So then when I'm watching, I'm like, I know they're going to bring one in, so I can pull out. I can do what I need to do. But that's basically it, and I haven't looked back since, really. I dropped out of uni and was like, I'm doing this.
this is my life now.
This is me now.
This is it, yeah, wicked.
You and I know we ain't changed a bit. Ignorance 101, still spraying the same shit. Y'all but you're too comfortable, like it was at the start of last year. It used to be wonderful, but always seemed to be stuck in first gear. First gear was amazing. She was by my side, I didn't need to chase status, just actually happy being alive.
There are people who want to take advantage of it, but the beautiful thing about drum and bass is, if you're not doing it for the right reasons, you get found out, and you do get, like, you might have a little bit of a spotlight in the sun for a couple of years, but you haven't got any longevity. You know, you stay in this, as long as you're doing it for the right reasons. It is family knit. Like, I've met my best friends through this. Like, I've met my best friends who are like, all on the same wavelength. Some of them have gone off and they're not doing drum and bass anymore, but they're still my best mates, you know? Like, so.
Nice, man. Yeah, sweet. What would you say to people that have got like that stigma of like, oh, it's just people that like want to get together and get fucked up and like, because I think that for me, this project, I want to shine a light on that it's worth more than that.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
The thing is, there is right. There's two sides to it. If you look at the old school rock and roll days, everybody was on heroin. Everybody was doing it. Like, there's a whole thing. There's the acid culture. There's the weed culture. There's everything. It's like, does the drug make the music or the music make the drugs? Like, there is something to be said about people going out and getting loose and doing their thing. But the music's the forefront. It always has been. Like, I can now go out completely clean and sober and still enjoy it. And I enjoy it more. Don't get me wrong, that got me into it, because what else is going to keep you going till 5 a.m? But people need to get loose. People need to, like, unwind. And it is, yes, on the surface, it is just a bunch of people getting in a dark room with loud music and taking a load of drugs. But at the same time, there are people, like, without the people holding it down and without the people doing it for the right reasons and doing it because they love the music, because you have to love it to be able to want to do it. You can't sustain going out and getting loose all the time, because that catches up with you in any aspect. But like music in general, the music industry in general, it doesn't matter if it was drum and bass, dubstep, rock and roll, blues, there's always been a big drug drink culture anyway. But I just love the fact that there's something for people to, it's a vocal point, you know. But it is bigger than that. It's brought me closer to my people. Like, way bigger.
Sweet.
Yo!